The film opens with a gripping scene of a young woman stranded on a remote island, desperately searching for a way to survive. The story then flashes back to its beginning, when four people set off on a trip to an island known for its seafood delicacies. Leading the group is Jack, a wealthy but arrogant businessman, accompanied by his wife, Jennifer. They are joined by two crew members, Manny, the experienced captain who knows the waters well, and Manuel, his deckhand. Just before departure, Manuel's girlfriend, Maria, confronts him with news of her pregnancy. Instead of showing joy, Manuel denies responsibility, sparking a heated argument that turns violent. In front of the baffled group, Maria slaps him, and he strikes her back. Enraged, Maria warns him that his lies will come back to haunt him before storming away. Tensions quickly rise once the journey begins. At dinner, Jack mocks Manuel, flaunting his wealth and superiority. Manuel avoids conflict, retreating to his books, but his frustration only deepens when he overhears Jack and Jennifer's intimate moments that night. Meanwhile, back home, Maria is seen performing a mysterious ritual with a carved effigy of Manuel. As she strikes it, Manuel suddenly suffers a nosebleed aboard the ship, though he dismisses the strange incident. By morning, his resentment toward Jack boils over into another argument. When the captain intervenes and warns him to control himself or lose his job, Manuel quits in anger. In his frustration, he carelessly tosses a handkerchief onto the lit gas stove, sparking a fire. The flames spread unnoticed until it's too late. Panic erupts as the passengers and crew scramble for lifeboats, desperate to escape their burning vessel. Tragedy soon follows. A violent storm scatters their lifeboats across the raging waters, separating the survivors. Back in the present, Jennifer finds herself alone on a desolate island, shaken by everything that has unfolded in just a few short hours. While sitting by the shore in despair, she notices a body drifting in with the tide. It's the captain, and he is already dead. Moments later, Manuel also washes ashore alive. Relieved not to be entirely alone, Jennifer joins him in building a shelter, catching fish, and keeping each other warm at night. A bond gradually forms between them, strengthened further as Manuel teaches her how to swim. For a time, they work together as a strong, dependable team. But their fragile peace shatters when Manuel discovers Jack clinging to a reef and brings him back to the island. Jennifer is overjoyed to see her husband alive, but Jack is far from grateful. His jealousy over her closeness with Manuel soon surfaces. Eager to reassert control, Jack produces a lighter he had kept hidden, an item that means they can finally cook meals properly. But despite this advantage, his resentment of Manuel grows. He begins accusing him of improprieties and hurling verbal abuse, until eventually he moves out of their shared shelter. Jennifer is angered by her husband's cruelty, but Jack remains unyielding, demanding she stay away from Manuel. The tension escalates until one day, Jack and Manuel explode into a heated argument. Jack belittles him, flaunting his wealth and claiming men like Manuel should know their place. In response, Manuel refuses to share any more food with him. Jennifer, torn between loyalty to her husband and the reality of survival, reluctantly sides with Jack. But as the days pass, she can only watch helplessly as he struggles to provide, unable to catch fish or anything edible. Meanwhile, Manuel continues to eat well, which makes Jennifer feel guilty. Her hunger soon becomes unbearable. When Manuel sees this, he decides to offer her some food, and though she is hesitant at first, Jennifer eventually accepts. And while promises her that Jack won't find out, and at the end, Jennifer gives him a peck on the cheek. As they grow closer, Jack continues to suspect something is going on between them. One day, his frustration reaches a boiling point, and in his desperation to prove his worth, he steals Manuel's glasses and hook. Then he goes into the waters alone. When Manuel wakes and finds that Jack had stolen his tools, he immediately becomes furious and gets his spear to confront Jack. Knowing that her husband won't be able to stop Manuel, Jennifer steps in to stop the attack. But things quickly get heated up, and they both lose control. And right there by the water, Manuel had intimate time with Jennifer. Immediately, Jack returned with a fish he had caught. He sensed something was not right, especially when he had anticipated Manuel's anger. When he returned with his glasses, but instead, Manuel was very calm. That was when he realized what had transpired while he was away. Jack decided that was the last straw and dragged Jennifer over to Manuel's tent to hand her over to him. Then he decided to leave their camp altogether. As days go by, Manuel and Jennifer's bond grows stronger, much to Jack's dismay, who continues to keep an eye on them from afar. Jack becomes more isolated and paranoid now that he knows that Manuel had slept with his wife. He stays away from the two as he continues to plan how to get back at Manuel. 5 months later, they are all still stranded on the island, and Jack, who has finally learned how to fend for himself, makes a pair of glasses and starts catching fish. One day while diving, he discovers a boat submerged in the water, and he immediately realizes that this boat represents their chance at escape. But Jack doesn't want to share his discovery with Manuel. So he begins working on the boat in secret and alone, as he hopes to leave Manuel behind on the island. However, when Jennifer learns of Jack's plan, she suggests to Manuel that they steal the boat and escape together. But Jack overhears them plans one night, and he prepares to stop them. The following day, Jennifer and Manuel seize an opportunity to escape. With Jack distracted searching for food, they attempt to take the boat. But their hope for freedom quickly turns to horror. The vessel begins to sink almost as soon as it leaves the shore. Only then do they realize the truth. Jack had sabotaged it, luring them into a trap so they would drown at sea. Struggling against the waves, they barely manage to return to land, only to find Jack waiting. He ambushes them, driving a spear into Manuel and dragging Jennifer away. Wounded and feverish, Manuel is forced to retreat into the water to save himself. That night, battered but determined, Manuel gathers his remaining strength. He confronts Jack in a brutal fight and is once again injured, yet he manages to free Jennifer. Together, they flee into the jungle, desperate to escape Jack's madness. But the nightmare isn't over. At dawn, Jack tracks them down. As he hurls a spear toward Manuel, Jennifer instinctively shields him. Meanwhile, far away, Maria continues her dark ritual. She pierces the effigy of Manuel, unleashing the full force of her curse. Back on the island, the effect is immediate. Just as Manuel gains the upper hand against Jack, his strength falters inexplicably. Staggering backward, he impales himself on Jack's spear. With that, his fight and his life comes to a tragic end. The story jumps forward 1 year. A tourist boat arrives at the island carrying a family eager for adventure. To their shock, they discover Jennifer, alive, though haunted by grief for Manuel. While Jack is away fishing, Jennifer seizes her chance. She boards the boat with the family, never mentioning his existence. When Jack spots the departing vessel, he cheers at first, believing salvation has come. But his joy crumbles as he realizes Jennifer has abandoned him. Desperate, he pleads for them to return, his cries echoing uselessly across the waves. The film closes with Jack left utterly alone on the island, helpless, broken, and doomed to an uncertain fate.
And that's the end of the story. I hope you liked it. Comment down below what movies do you like us to recap next. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time.